Yes, this is no film. I'm live, but I'm not in the best of moods. Uh, this has not been a good month for me, physically and mentally, for a variety of reasons. And football, unfortunately, has not put a solve on those injuries, literal and figurative. Uh, there was a lot of actual predictable winning in the NFL today when it came to who was supposed to beat who, because there were a lot of teams with very good records playing against teams with very poor records. The Bengals did their job. The kitty went meow quite a bit. The Lions did their job. Let's see. The Falcons did their job. Unfortunately, the Rams did their job too, which was not good for my Cardinals in terms of trying to win the NFC West. And guess who couldn't do their job? The Cardinals. Otherwise, I'd be wearing that very expensive Cardinals shirt I have. You cannot fall behind early by a big margin, even if it's against a very bad team. Unfortunately, this is like the Lions in 2021, where they should have won even though it was on the road, given how big of a difference there was in the records. But they happened to catch a team on the losing side of things that had at least greatly improved compared to the start of the year. And even though they eventually came back to tie the game and send it into overtime, they could not finish the deal in overtime. I don't know why. I haven't seen the highlights, or in this case, the lowlights. I don't intend to until tomorrow, when I can cry myself to sleep, or at least whimper to sleep. Let's see. So even though the Vikings beat the Seahawks and the Dolphins beat the Niners, the Cardinals are essentially out of the playoff race. Even though they beat the Rams earlier in the season and could potentially beat them again in LA, although the Rams themselves have improved mightily. Though they didn't look like world beaters against the Jets today. They almost got hit, just like the Bills did when it came to the Patriots. They were down 14 to a 3-win team at home. And thankfully, at least for them, they were able to come back. Indianapolis, on the other hand, had a huge lead and almost blew that one, but held on in the end to be another team with a better record that was way better than the team that they played that had a very big losing record. So, and because the Falcons did their job, they're out of wild card contention. And although in a perverse manner, so are the Cowboys. I was kind of looking forward to this game to be the one where I hope that the Buccaneers could slaughter them as a means of kicking them out of the playoff picture, but that's already been done by, ironically, another NFC South team who was playing a rookie quarterback for the first time. But fortunately for him, his defense stepped it up, returning 2 interceptions for touchdowns. That's all they would have needed, because the Giants only scored 7 points. So, the only thing I have going for me my Devils. They got to wait and see who the winner of the Clemson-Texas game was going to be as they beat each other into oblivion, while the Sun Devils could sit at home, watch the proceedings unfold, and rest in the knowledge that they could rest. And they will be playing in the Peach Bowl for the first time in 55 years, I believe. The last time they played in the Peach Bowl, they had a 27-year bowlless streak. And they used it to announce themselves to the college football world that, hey, there's good football being played down southwest way. And now, I still can't believe they made it as a 4th seed, along with the Boise State being a 3rd seed. The college football playoff quarterfinals are now set. We're playing Texas for the first time. That ought to be something. Georgia's playing Notre Dame. Oregon's going to have a rematch with Ohio State of the Big Ten Championship in their quarterfinal match. And they'll be playing in the Rose Bowl. And then Boise State's got Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. So the Big 12's really representing. The SEC a little bit less so. But still, they have 2 teams in the mix. So I've got that to look forward to. Whether I can potentially see them around New Year's Day is still to be determined. But I won't get into the reasons why. Oh, yeah, it didn't help that the Commanders came back to beat the Eagles. That was apparently quite the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the highlights of that. In the meantime, the game's about ready to start finally. The Buccaneers are going to kick it off. Cavante Turpin is going to be the receiver in the end zone for the boys. The kicker for the Bucs is Chase McLaughlin, I believe. Yes, number 4. And a lot of people have been waiting all day for Sunday night, and here it is. And we have a touchback. And they're introducing the Cowboy offense. The last person had to be the one to reference their high school instead of their college. Okay, Rush is back to pass. Cooper Rush, that is, who continues to quarterback the Cowboys. Gets it to Turpin. It'll be 2nd down. Rico Dowdle, the main Cowboys running back now, is to his right. Rush is in the gun. Passes it to CeeDee Lamb. But he's held up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard or a half in terms of forward progress. So it'll be 3rd down now. As we see Todd Bowles, the coach of the Bucs, and Mike McCarthy, the coach of the Cowboys. Ball's just past the 38 of the Cowboys. Rush again is back to pass. Gets it to Brandon Cooks, a former Oregonian, or in this case, an Oregon station. They're introducing the Bucs defense now. A community college reference. You don't see that often. And a guy from Sam Houston. I'm not sure if they're 1A or 1AA or what. Rushes back to pass again. He gets it off to Ferguson, number 87, the tight end. Jake Ferguson, not Jake from State Farm. And thanks to whomever's showing up. If you feel free to chat me up if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. I'm very warm in my apartment, so I decided to go with the t-shirt today. Have not stepped outside in a day and a half. Actually, it's exactly 2 days now. And we got a run for the first time. Rico Dowdle, who got 3, it looks like. Just short of the first down. Sorry for the yawn. Didn't sleep too well last night, or more so, I was up very late watching a lot of YouTube videos. Rushes back to pass. He's got an empty backfield this time. Back to pass. Gets it to Lamb. Another short gain, but it's enough for a first down. So with the Falcons winning, Tampa Bay really needs to win to keep themselves in the lead. If they lose, the Falcons get the lead back in the division. That is the NFC South. Rush back to pass. He gets it to Lamb again with what looked like a wide receiver screen, but it just was held up too well by the Bucs. And Lamb actually lost a yard. We got Rush is now doing the audible thing. Hands it off to Dowdle, who tries to worm his way through the defense, only gets a couple. This game turns out to be an early blowout. I'm headed out early. This just is not a game I was looking forward to see. Rushes back to pass. He shovels it to Dowdle again, but he's brought down well short of the first to the Bucs 40. And now we got a lot of beep, 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 beep. Maybe a bit of extracurricular activity, but that's now done. And Brandon Aubrey is going to come out to kick a field goal. It's going to be a 58-yarder. It's good. As Mike Tirico said, he makes the 58-yard field goal look like a free throw. That's true. So the Cowboys are up 3-0, and we got a commercial timeout. Damn. So, I hate to really do this, but I'm just going to take a look at the box score to see how the Cardinals stunk up the joint. Again, they were on the road. Even though the Panthers are a 3-win team, they have greatly improved, and typically, given the distance between Phoenix and Charlotte, it's a long ways to get there. Well, that wasn't a problem for the Rams going to New York. So, the first 3 drives for the Cardinals were a punt, a field goal, and a fumble. While the Panthers scored 3 straight touchdowns. That's tough to come back from. And yet they almost did it. The Cardinals got 2 late touchdowns in the second quarter, exchanged field goals and then touchdowns with Carolina. Got last second field goal. It was a 58-yarder. I mean, my goodness. It took that just to get it into overtime. Close to being back in the action, and they're showing Texas high school playoffs at AT&T Stadium. A crowd of 36,000. Now, that's a massive stadium, but for a high school title game, it's pretty impressive turnout. Oh, yeah, they got a Sun Devil. I'd forgotten about Rashad White being there. They've also got a 1AA guy from North Dakota State, who I believe are going to be in the 1AA championship against Montana State from the Big Sky, from which Northern Arizona is a part of. Rashad White got a gain of 5 on the run. It was a touchback, by the way. No surprise. They're showing Mayfield's numbers. He's had a heck of a year, although he's still double-digit interceptions-wise. And let's see. Actually, it's only a 4-yard gain, apparently. Mayfield under the center, back to pass, and now he's scrambling, and now he's going to run for it and gets the first down, although there's laundry already with 8:13 left in the quarter. Holding on the offense. 68 Bredesen is the guilty party. Football players are starting to act like soccer players in Europe and South America. where they commit a foul and then act all innocent. Jeez. Why bother? So it's 2nd and 16. Mayfield's back to pass. He gets it to McMillan, number 15, a rookie. And he was the guy who had his daughters in the lineup with him when they were being introduced. That's nice. That's cool. I don't know how old he is, but he definitely married young or got into a relationship young to have 2 kids already. The African-American Ryan Philippe, I suppose. So it's 3rd and 2 on the 38. Empty backfield. Mayfield's back to pass, and he's struggling to find someone. And now he gets it off and found the 2nd-string tight end, Payne Durham, number 87, for a first down. Whoever's joined me, feel free to chat me up if you want on any old thing. Take off your jacket and stay a while. It looked like he could have gone for it, Mayfield, that is. But he got to his tight end who managed to keep both his feet in bounds before going out of bounds. 6:30 left in the first. Ooh, White's got fluorescent shoes. Oh, no, wait. That's Bucky Irving. The other running back. As they now introduce the Cowboys defense. Just once, I want to see the 11 of either the offense or the defense all share their college experience. So number 10, Palmer got the catch for 2nd down, but he's brought down short of the 3rd down. Short of the 1st down, so now it's 3rd down. And there they have Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, who quite obviously found a coaching job after getting canned from the Vikings. So it's 3rd and 3 now. The ball is on the Cowboys 48. So Bugs in opposition territory. Again with an empty backfield. Mayfield back to pass, but he fumbled the ball when he got the snap. And the throw was a bit off. And it'll be 4th down. He tried to look before he caught it. Tried to get to White, but it was just a little too far. Oh, and now they're going to go for it, apparently. 5:02 left, and they're already providing the advice of the analytics. And, oh, my goodness. Mayfield had Shepard wide open, and he just dropped it. I think he did what Mayfield did on 3rd down, turned his head before he fully caught the ball. Let's see here. It hit him right in the numbers, but he had his hands up like this as opposed to this. I think that's what got him in trouble. So the Cowboys will take over on their own 48 due to a turnover on downs. It's not like the Cowboys are a huge offensive threat, despite all their talent and at the wide receiver position. Although the running back, Dowdle's improving that spot for them too. Rush has yet to be proven as a full-time starter. I'd have punted. Screw the analytics. Analytics are one thing. execution is another. Hello. Sorry you have to see me during a commercial timeout, but I encourage you to stick around. So, let's see. Probably could use something to drink while I'm talking and yawning. Ugh. Oh, yeah, the Saints and Packers are on Monday night. Let's see. And then Wednesday is Christmas. So they'll have some games on that day, too. Which is something of a surprise. I'm guessing they'll have teams that played either Thursday or Friday of last week, because that wouldn't be much of a turnaround time, as they have Turpin run the ball out of the backfield, even though he's a wide receiver. And he gets the first down rather easily. Helps that he broke a tackle. Merriweather had him, but couldn't hang on. So they're already in Bucks Field area at the 40.5. Rush under center, back to pass, and he throws it, and he's got a wide open Brandon Cooks, who avoids 2 tackles, but one guy comes back to get him. Cooks has been something of a forgotten man, but lately he's stepped it up. I think he was injured in the season early on, too. So he got all the way to the 11, or just short of it. So 1st and 10. Handoff to Dowdle, who was tripped up behind the line of scrimmage and was able to stumble his way back to it. This is not the way the Bucks needed to start out. And one of Dallas's downfalls, apparently, is they're the second worst in the red zone when it comes to scoring in any form or fashion. Rush is back to pass. Got into trouble early. Forced to throw it low at the feet of Tony Rico Dowdle. It was incomplete, so it's 3rd and 9. This will be a big stop for the Bucks if they could limit it to a field goal, or maybe hopefully get a turnover. Testing them like that's all. 2:53 left in the quarter. Rush back to pass. And he gets it. Tolbert, touchdown. 9-0 the Cowboys. Rush barely avoided the sack, and Tolbert barely kept his feet in the end zone, but he was able to do so regardless. And now Aubrey is going to try and kick the extra point. So we're at a commercial timeout. Amazon has a commercial where this light shows bonkers at one house, and the house next door decides to give up and say ditto. That's funny. Well, at least I can still laugh about certain things. So, as we get closer to the end of the season, a playoff race obviously becomes clearer. Although, in the AFC, all the 6-8 teams ended up winning, so they're still barely in the hunt. That makes 10 of the 15 of the 16 teams in that conference still good. Whereas in the NFC, it's 9 of the 16. So we're back to the action here. A lot of Bucs fans there. So Aubrey's going to kick it off again. Boy, he just effortlessly gets it into the end zone. It's like he's pitching a sandwich in golf, barely breaking a sweat. Interesting that Baker Mayfield started as a walk-on and not at Oklahoma. He was at a rival Big 12 school. Winds up winning the Heisman and becoming the number 1 pick in the draft. So he's able to complete the pass on first down. Again to Durham, the tight end, number 87. Game was for 6. So the ball's at the 36. Mayfield is under center. Getting very late on the play clock, but he gets it off. Fakes the handoff. Back to pass. And again, it's dropped by Shepard. Although there was good coverage on him by Lewis, number 2, in front of him. And Lewis got his hands on Shepard. And the ball actually went through Lewis's hands trying to intercept it. So it would have been a minor miracle if Shepard actually caught that one. So 3rd and 4. Mayfield back to pass. He gets it off to White, but he cannot get the first down. Short by a yard. He had stretched it out before he got pushed out of bounds to try and get it, but no such luck. Stepped out of bounds before he could really do the extension. So it's 4th and 1. Browning, number 5, will punt it for Tampa Bay. Apparently, he's the 4th different punter. I can only surmise that they've had a couple that got injured. Maybe 2 at least, and another one who probably got released. Showing superlative displays of Christmas lights in the far northern suburbs. I live in a very large apartment building, so seeing Christmas light displays is somewhat limiting. I have to walk a couple of blocks to be able to see stuff on houses. And given the way the temperatures have been, it's not something I want to do late at night. Let's see. What exactly is the temperature in the western suburbs of Portland, Oregon? Looks like the high... Oh, that may have been an old... set of data. And this weather app is going to take a while to load up, so we'll figure that out later. Oh, there were no scorigamis this weekend. I thought the Dolphins-Niners game would have been one, but as it turns out, that was the same score at a Super Bowl that was played in Miami, of all places. And I remember that now. And this is why I like to wear headphones and hear what the announcers are saying. I know Chris Collinsworth gets a lot of grief. Why, I don't know. And we're back to the action. Dak Prescott is taking notes up in the press box. And one thing I couldn't help but notice, and they're showing it in the preview, Rush has adopted Dak Prescott's "Here We Go" snap cadence. So the ball's at the 20. Whoops. And we have movement on both sides of the ball, and one of Jade's headbands, several of them actually fly. And it's called false start on the offense. Number 78, Steele, the guilty party. So it's 1st and 15 now. 1:12 left in the quarter. Rushing the gun, now back to pass. Gets it to Dowdle, who gets about 9. Less than a minute to go. Rush under center. Hands off to Dowdle, but he slips to the ground deliberately to avoid getting tackled. Regardless of how he went down, it's for a loss. 3rd and 8 now. And the play clock is bigger than the game clock, so they're not sure if they're going to get a playoff. Well, maybe they are. And now they're trying to just draw the Bucs offside, and it's not working, so quarter's over. I need to get some liquid refreshment. They're not going to commercial timeout. Maybe I'll hold off. So you've got the any given Sunday rule, even though a lot of the teams with big winning records beat a lot of the teams with very bad records. Some of the games were still close. There was the matter of the Bills-Patriots. Patriots up 14-0 already. Bills eventually came back at home, and now they decide, well, we're going to go to commercial after all. So, okay, now I will get that refreshment. Ugh. I really want that crochet. Ah, yes, my drink is here. The heck is this? Looks like they got a drive-through light display down there. Wonder where that is. Okay, ball's at the 22. 3rd and 8. Cooper rushes in the gun again. Empty backfield, back to pass. Gets it to Ferguson, who fumbles it and can't make the catch. So it'll be the first punt for the Cowboys. I believe Anger's their punter. Oh, hello there. Nice of you to stop by. Excuse the burping. Feel free to chat me up on anything if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. Yes, Anger is the guy, number 5. And Palmer for the Buccaneers, number 10, will be the return man. Snap is away, and so is the punt. And Palmer takes it at just past the 30, but doesn't get far. And we got laundry. And Palmer wasn't terribly happy about something. yelling at his sidelines. And refs are taking their time figuring this out, and now we have the response. So, Cowboys receiver went out of bounds when he shouldn't have and wasn't touched. So that's a 5-yard penalty on Dallas. It will be enforced at the spot of the end of the return. So I think it'll be at the 34. Got a couple as the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who. I'll never be awed by the creativity people will show up in costuming themselves. So 14:45 left in the quarter. Excuse me, it's the Bucs. They actually get a improvement in field position. The handoff is to Irving. You can tell I'm a professional. He got to the Bucs 46. So the ball was at the 43 initially. Should be 2nd and 7. Indeed, 2nd and 7. Ball just a little past the 46. Field has an empty backfield. Back to pass. Floats it up to Evans, who gets it. And I think he wasn't touched. Oh, no, the refs are blowing their whistle saying he was. That was a nice catch. I don't know why he's saying to do the hurry up. That went all the way to the Cowboys 28. And now another pass by Mayfield to Evans. But that's only a short gain, about 2. Boy, the Bucs are definitely glad he's back. Had season highs against the Chargers last week in their blowout win in LA. And we got an I formation, a rare sight in pro football these days, with Mayfield under center. Hands it off to Bucky Irving, who gets a nice first down and more. Gets into the red zone and even past the 10 of the Cowboys. So that's an obvious first down. Given how little I've followed college football until this year, I have no idea where a lot of these guys came from. So that's a name I am definitely not familiar with, but he's obviously done quite a good deal this year. And he gets the pitch from Mayfield to him, and he turns the corner and gets very close to the end zone. Micah Parsons with the tackle, as there are now just 12 minutes left in the half. I would have thought he would have turned in sooner, but he did quite the turnaround, quite the curve back into the infield. And he gets another pitch to him too, but avoids a tackle and gets a touchdown. And he's pumped up. So, we have ourselves a game. That pitch was a little too high up by his helmet, and he bobbled it a little, but he managed to get control of it. Golston had him in the backfield, but couldn't hold on. And that was the closest the Cowboy defender got to him. The blocking was excellent after that. McLaughlin for the extra point now. The kick is up, and it is good. 11:30 left to go. And lead has been cut to 3. Once again, I get a viewer who shows up during the commercial timeout. Sorry you're here just to see me chew on ice cubes. But do feel free to stick around if you want. Chat me up if you want. Take off your jacket and stay a while. I often wonder how good people can hear background sounds of me doing a variety of noises. So, Cardinals have to play the Rams next weekend. I gotta look and see what the tiebreakers are. Rodeo in Texas. I wonder where that is. Oh, Fort Worth. They'll still have a decent sized looking rodeo arena. So McLaughlin's going to kick it off. And again, it's a touchback. Okay, Rush is back to pass. And he launches it to CeeDee Lamb, and it's caught at the 35. As Lamb strikes a pose or two. He was right in the middle of a double team. But there was enough distance between him and the D-backs that he could catch it. So Rush was doing the dink and dunk thing early, and now he's lobbing it down the field more. In the meantime, there was a run by Rico Dowdle, who only got about 2. But they are in Bucs territory. Sorry about that. Checking my YouTube notifications. 2nd and 8 at the 34. Rush back to pass. Gets it to Lamb. Up, he dropped it. And anyways, we had a flag. With 10:05 left in the half. Referee's trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Illegal motion on the offense. And Lamb is the guilty party, as it turns out. So apparently he wasn't completely set, or he was moving forward as the ball was being snapped. So ball's back at the 39 now. Rushes back to pass again. Gets it to Dowdle, who avoids a tackle, but can't avoid the rest. And is able to get a couple of yards. Now under 10 minutes in the half. It's at the 31 now. Rush back to pass yet again. He lofts it up again, and I don't know what happened, but Lamb was not in the vicinity. So with that incompletion, it's Brandon Aubrey time again. I don't know how my antenna got askew, but it's caused me to lose the feed. And the field goal's good. And they have in Fort Worth what they have just down the street from me. A small but very enthusiastically skated rink. Mostly for the kids. I've seen the one outside my apartment building be quite busy. So let's get back to the standings here in the NFL. Well, first let's double check the weather. No, the app is still not fully loaded. So I got to do a refresh, and maybe we can get later on in the quarter. So 5 teams have punched a ticket in the AFC. All that's left that have winning records are the Broncos and the Chargers. The Chargers did themselves well by beating the Broncos earlier last week. Get them in the second place in the AFC West. And basically in charge of their own destiny. It doesn't list tiebreakers. That's in a different link. I wish they had it on the same page. But with the 3-6 win teams winning, they keep themselves not only in the playoff race, but drive themselves further away from all the other losing teams. The 6 teams that have 10 losses or more, all of them have more than 10 losses already. Starting to look like they'll be the only ones, unless one of the 7 and 8 teams truly collapses. So 9:15 left in the half. Aubrey's going to kick it off. And again, he casually just kicks it out of the end zone. There are more 10-loss teams in the conference than 10-win teams. The Ravens joined the club after beating Pittsburgh last week and clinching a playoff spot for themselves in the process. In the meantime, Mayfield in the shotgun handed off to White, who got himself 6 on the run. And Weather app still isn't loading. Good Lord. Okay. Second and 5. Irving gets the run again, gets the ball again for the run, and gets the first down just a little past the 40. Oh, actually, they say it's a third down. As the clock continues to run. And it's another handoff, this time to White. And I like to think he got the first down, unlike last time when I thought they did but didn't. And the officials finally agree, as we're halfway through the second quarter now. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage by 2 guys, Clark and Oruwariye. Say that 5 times fast. In the meantime, Mayfield's back to pass. We get the screen to Irving, who is just tripped up before he can get to the 50. Gain of about 7, apparently. So between the two of them, White and Irving have rushed for over 1,400 yards this season. Irving gets the ball this time and gets another first down. Clock continues to run. Almost 6 minutes to go now. Mayfield back to pass, gets it to Irving on the side, and he is able to get to the Cowboys 40. And there's Micah Parsons with a lot of blood on his uniform towards his neck. That's a bit disconcerting and somewhat concerning. And the longer the season goes, the more I see people with what seems to be inflatable pads in their helmets. Mayfield's back to pass out of the eye. Gets it to McMillan, number 15, for a first down. And 5 minutes left, and now under 5 minutes left. And now we're getting a ruling the ball was incomplete because the nose of the ball hit the turf and he apparently didn't have full control of it. So it's 3rd and 5. So McMillan was a Washington guy, as in Washington University, that is, or the University of Washington. The ball's back on the Cowboys 40, and now I don't know what the heck's going on, but there's a delay. And it looks like I guess they have to adjust the markers on the field. So officially 5:07 left. Oh, Mayfield back to pass, although the snap was a bit high, and now he's in a lot of trouble, and he's now sacked by Golston, number 99 of the Cowboys. And it'll be 4th down. So the snap went a little high and a little to Mayfield's right and got him a bit discombobulated. So the punter for Tampa Bay sets it off. And nope, touchback. It looked like one of the Buccaneers may have kept it out of the end zone. And unfortunately, his foot was on the line as he touched the ball. Oh yeah, because we're at AT&T Stadium, we get to see the Salvation Army Bowl. Weather App, are you finally up? No. Ugh. Too many crickets. Okay, apparently the third refresh was the charm. So it's 49 and mostly cloudy, and it's about to rain in an hour or less. So the Cowboys have it on their 20. And Rush was back to pass, trying to get to Ferguson, but he was heavily covered, and the pass was too low and too far away. So 2nd and 10. I don't know if I said how many 10-win teams there were in the AFC, but apparently it's less than I thought. There's only 4. There are 5 in the NFC, and they're split between only 2 divisions, the East and the North. Although the Rams may be able to get themselves in that territory, hopefully the Cardinals can keep them away from that. All right. Third and 9, as their last play only got a yard. Rushes back to pass, gets it to Tolbert, who stretches himself towards a first down and past the marker. Oh. Rush tried to pass it, but pass to his fullback Litke, number 40, was at his feet, which is not where you want to have that be. Rush back to pass again. Gets it to Ferguson, who hangs on to it this time, but can only get about 6. And Ferguson apparently lost his helmet, and he's upset with the refs that the defense was responsible. Well, the helmet wasn't ripped off him, it just kind of fell off. He was underneath the tackler number 0, and it just slipped off. Well, at any rate, rushes back to pass, and he lost it a long ways. It's caught by Lamb. And the Buccaneers number 27 is upset with there being what he thought was offensive pass interference, and Lamb is hurt. That's McCollum who was on the play. So McCollum initially was holding Lamb, and then Lamb got away with a little push. And the penalty that was called first was on McCollum. And that's been declined. And Lamb is on the sidelines now, struggling to get up. Landed on his right shoulder, which was apparently previously injured. But the ball's at the 11 of the Bucs. Rush is in the gun. Dowdle is to his left, and now Rush is doing the audible thing. And he's trying to get the Bucs to jump off sides before the 2-minute warning and give themselves a free play, but they're not going for it, and we have the 2-minute warning. Okay. So as I look at the NFC West, with the Cardinals firmly ensconced in third place, all of the top 3 teams in that division were 4-1 against the AFC. The Rams have the better conference record, which accounts for their 2-game lead. The Seahawks only... Now, the Rams were at 500 in that department. Seahawks 4-6, Cards 3-7. In the divisional matchups, the Rams again have the edge, but they've only played 4 games as opposed to the Seahawks and Niners, although the Cardinals have also only played 4. And the Hawks and the Rams have been road warriors, having better records there than at home. As for the Cardinals, well, they've done well at home, which is always a good thing, but have only won 2 road games. I don't know if you can hear the guy on the speakers. That skating rink has a guy make announcements every so often that I can hear too. My windows seem to cover nearly the entire wall looking out to the street, which is not good for keeping the cold out or the light. If you don't want the sun to be shining right at you. Okay, back to the action. Turpin was the runner, but he got eaten up by the nose guard, number 50, Vita Vea. And apparently the announcers have been waiting for such a moment, because Vea is quite a load. Vea is apparently twice the size of Turpin, and I believe it. And now the Bucs have called a timeout. Okay, 2nd and 10. Turpin got nothing on that last run. Rush is now back to pass. He gets it to Lamb, who apparently has miraculously healed. And he gets a touchdown. Although there's something of a debate going on. Then again, they're showing the replay. And his knee hit the ground before the ball went over the plane of the goal line. So Lamb did well to whip around to get out of a tackle. Actually, two of them. Trying to reset the game clock. And they've called the timeout to avoid some sort of 10-second runoff. Okay, so it's first and goal, 3rd-yard line. And Ezekiel Elliott is given the ball, as we have an Ezekiel Elliott sighting for the first time, and he gets a touchdown. Must have been trying to get him some sort of record. He will not jump into the Salvation Army Bowl this time. And Aubrey puts up the extra point. Okay. I'm looking at the tie-breaking procedures, and it doesn't have it associated with any particular teams. It's just the general rule of thumb the league has. Okay. Last thing I need is to see Jerry Jones happy. Okay, we had a line drive kick by Aubrey there, and it's going to actually be returned by number 18, Jarrett, who gets up to the 29. So it'll be the last gasp for the Buccaneers in the half. They only have one timeout remaining. As I look at ESPN and see my Suns are struggling again, barely holding at 500. In the meantime, Mayfield's able to complete a pass to Mike Evans, who gets out of bounds for a first down. Mayfield back to pass again. And he gets another one. And Shepard, for once, holds on to the ball. Gets another first down initially, but we've got a flag on the play. We had holding on number 26. Bland was the guilty party, but they're declining it. Mayfield back to pass again. Again, he able to complete it, this time to Evans, who got hit real hard. And now all of a sudden, we've got a no-huddle thing going on by the Bucs. And gets another one off to Durham. Haven't seen Cade Otton for some reason. But at any rate, it's second down, but they've gone quite a bit of ways in just 4 plays with 1:05 to go in the half. Second and 4, the ball's at the 15 of the boys. Mayfield back to pass again. Gets it through, but overthrows everybody, and maybe including the goalpost. So it's going to be third down now with just a minute left. All right. Mayfield hands it off to White, who gets the first down. Quite a surprising play. And now Tampa Bay takes a timeout, although they could have wound down the clock a little more. Excuse me. So he had to run over his own offensive lineman to get the first down and got to the 10. And they're pointing out amongst the commentators that Atlanta beat the Bucs twice already, so if the Bucs lose, the Falcons would be back in the division lead for what it's worth. Mayfield's now back to pass, and he's scrambling a little bit, but he gets it away, and McMillan, say the refs, got a touchdown. Now, last time he caught a pass, we thought he caught a pass, but it was ruled an incomplete. This was another close one. This one was thrown low too. They may be reviewing it again. They finally have the replay, and it looks like this time he was able to hang on to it. Yep, they confirm it. So, happy time for him. Happy time for people who might have him in his fantasy league. McLaughlin will try the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So again, the Bucs have cut down the lead. Oh, the Cowboys have all three of their timeouts, so let's see if Rush can do anything. Provided he gets good field position. Okay. So, short commercial timeout, and McLaughlin will go ahead and kick it. And McLaughlin kicks it off. Turpin kneels when he catches it, and it's a touchback. Okay, Rush is in the gun. Now back to pass. Gets it to Ferguson, who gets away from his would-be tackler and goes past midfield. And already Cowboys take their first timeout. 9 seconds went off the clock. So 39 left. Ferguson looks like he got to either the 47 or the 46 of Tampa Bay. Oh, they moved the clock back to 41. And they actually have them down at the 49 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rush gets the snap, throws it to Cooks, who gets another first down. And they call another timeout. So only 4 seconds taken off the clock in that instance. Oops. Boing. There goes my headphones. Ugh. Okay. Rush is in shotgun. Now back to pass. Gets it to Ferguson again, who bobbles it a lot. Catches it, but he only gets a yard. Rush in shotgun again. And he is hammered. So it's third down. With the sack by Diaby, number 0. The guy who essentially squeezed the helmet off of Ferguson when he was over him. And Cansey looks like he could get credit for half the sack, number 94. So they have officially 12 seconds left on the game clock. It's 3rd and 15. So if the Cowboys need to do anything, they're going to have to get it to either the end zone or the sideline if they're going to give a chance for Aubrey. And he lofts it away. Oh! Tolbert bobbled the ball, and then he lost it, and he probably would have been out of bounds if he'd have caught it anyways. So once again, Aubrey's going to try a 58-yard field goal. McCollum had some good coverage on him. Otherwise, Tolbert might have caught it in bounds. The kick is up, and it is good. Went so far, it actually still hit the back of the net. And that ends the half. The first half, that is. And the Cowboys are up by 9. Tirico heard what I said about him using a wedge, except he used a pitching wedge. Or did I say a pitching wedge? I don't remember. And Melissa Stark is talking to Todd Bowles about what's going on in the half and what he need to do in the future. So I'm not in the mood to see highlights. I gotta fix the clock on my VCR. I never could remember what, depending on the device I have, the time either goes too fast or too slow. I could never remember which is which. And for the VCR, it appears it's too fast. So I got to set it back by about 10 minutes and let it catch up. I just need to remember which menu that is. Hello there, whoever's deciding to watch me at halftime. No, I don't want the DVD menu. I want the general menu. Oh, let's just stop it. Let's see. Oh, setup is what I wanted. Never mind. Okay. There we go. Such excitement I've presented to you. Okay. Let's see. This ought to do it. Okay. And oh wait, I'm back at the setup menu. Okay. I guess I can turn it off. All right. No, I don't want to go that way. I want to go up. Yes, there we go. Now I can go back to NBC. I may get the highlights forced on me after all. It took less time than I thought it would to fix the clock. Do any of you still happen to have VCRs and DVD players? I have a dual threat device for both of them, for each of them. It's one of the two. Okay. Yes, the ex-Sun Devil turned LSU Tiger, turned Heisman winner, turned rookie phenom for the Commanders. Playing in uniforms that look suspiciously like Sun Devil uniforms. Better seeing these head highlights than what I consider as lowlights with you-know-who losing. So Jalen Hurts left in the first quarter due to a concussion. It'll be interesting to see how they're affected for next week. And despite the loss, Saquon Barkley certainly wasn't the reason. And he might actually break Aaron Dickerson's rushing record for a season. He's got over 1,800 yards. He needs to average 134 to break the record. And then we've got another quarterback who was supposed to be a rookie sensation, got stuck with the Jets for a couple of years, and only now is just trying to get back into the winning way of a playoff team. The Eagles play the Cowboys at home. So we'll see if Hurts is ready for that game in a week. Oh, yeah, Jonathan Taylor obviously had to learn his lesson the hard way and being part of a loss that might have kept him out of the playoffs. And he ain't giving up that ball from now on. Running into the tunnel with it and not letting his teammates even take it from him. So apparently, NBC's decided to get to showing nature programs. That's interesting. And Tom Hanks is going to narrate. I might just actually want to see that, provided it's on a night where I'm free to actually watch TV. That remains to be seen, because I still don't have a 2025 calendar. I don't know what days fall on what part of the week. Hello there. Feel free to chat me up on any old thing if you want, whoever you are. Make yourself known. Take your jacket off and stay a while. Yes, I know it's halftime, and I know there's not much for me to talk about. I'm hoping in vain that Tom Grossi raids me. Although I hope he didn't hear me say that. So, let's see. I already know about the Saints and the Packers playing on Monday night. You know who's going to be definitely broadcasting that game. So they're doing the first half highlights of this game. Both QBs have done well tonight, with Rush surprisingly doing a little better. It's one thing to do well against the Panthers, although the Cardinals could apparently beat them. That's another to do it against a division-leading team. And with the performance the Cowboys are doing now, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they play Philadelphia. So Aubrey's kicking off, and Jarrett's going to return it. It was kind of shorted by Aubrey, and Jarrett's actually able to get past the 30 and the 35 and get to about the 38 or 39. So, with Tampa Bay having gotten the ball, they may be able to cut the lead down even further, which they desperately need to do. I picked a heck of a time for my stomach to decide to give me acid reflux. Let's see if I can get through at least this first series. Mayfield is under center. Ball's officially at the 38. He hands it off to Irving, who snakes his way through and gets about 7 yards. Given people have discovered the running game or rediscovered it in the NFL, at the very least, a lot of head coaches. Given how Saquon Barkley could actually break Dickerson's rushing record after the running game was considered an afterthought, even as of last year, I wonder who else is doing well. Irving might hit the 1,000-yard mark tonight. He gets another first down. He's already got 58 along with his TD. I don't know how long it takes for the NFL to show their stats for the individuals. That's something I'm going to look at. Aside from the Saints and Packers, everyone will have played 15 games by now. Mayfield gets his pass off to White, who gets a couple of yards. The Bucs have apparently improved mightily on their running game, like a lot of other teams. Seems to be more pronounced with this team. Mayfield is under center, and he's doing the audible thing, although there isn't much time left on the play clock. He's trying to rush it through and somehow gets it off in time. And Irving gets another first down, dragging a bunch of people with him. Tirico's complaining about the inconsistency and delay of game calling as Mayfield gets another pass off. Whoops! Ball got stripped out, but Mayfield recovers it. And that to me is another inconsistency, determining when to blow the whistle after a player's forward progress has been stopped. Six yards were lost as a result of the fumble, but Irving gets the pass and gets it back and gets a first down too. So, if we have the exceptions of the players tonight, let's see. 11 players have gone over 1,000 yards for the season. Under 11 minutes left in the third. Ball's at the 26 of the Cowboys. Mayfield hands it off to Irving. White was in motion, but Irving only gets a yard this time. There were 5 others above 900, but yet to get 1,000. But again, I don't know how soon these stats have been updated. Just a little over 10 minutes left in the quarter now. 2nd and 9. Mayfield's back to pass. Fakes the throw. And now has to scramble. Gets the throw off, but it's broken up. And we have laundry as well. Deron Bland was able to break up the pass intended for Evans. Holding on the offense. 67 Gudicki is the guilty party. The one who's kind of easy to find given he's got the blow-up helmet, which is very slate gray as opposed to the metallic gray of the helmets. So it's now 2nd and 19. Ball's back to the 34 and a half. Mayfield back to pass, but he is under pressure. Gets away, but oh no, now he fumbles. It's recovered by the Cowboys. The question becomes, did he get it before the ball went out of bounds? Mayfield's complaining about something. Mayfield looks a bit out of sorts. He says he was hit in the head. Replay appears to indicate that number 41 of the Dallas defense didn't hold on to it well before he slid out of bounds. So let's see. As I look at these rushing stats, it doesn't indicate how many games each player's played. One of the guys who made the 1,000-yard mark was James Conner. Unfortunately, he had to leave early due to an injury, which didn't help the Cardinals' chances. Quite a few of these guys are guys who were featured running backs on their original teams and wound up traded. Probably about half of them. Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Connor, Aaron Jones, and Tony Pollard. Not with their original teams anymore, but giving big production to the teams who have them. Pollard was ex-Cowboy, now a Titan. Jones, ex-Packer, now a Viking. Connor was an ex-Steeler, now Cardinal. Jacobs, ex-Raider, now Packer to replace Jones. And Henry, Titan, ex-Titan, now Raven. And Barkley, the ex-Giant and Eagle. So Pollard looks to have done a halfway decent job of replacing Henry, although they don't call him King Henry for nothing. And the Titans are in full rebuild mode. They'll continue to be that way for a while, it looks like. They just keep getting worse. Tampa Bay caught a break. Vigil wasn't able to keep a complete hold onto it before and the ball slid out of bounds. Lucky for Mayfield. So it's 3rd and 40. Ay. This will be interesting. He gets it to the... Oh! He got it to the tight end and was promptly bulldozed by a member of the Cowboys defense. One of the Sockin' Samoans, Leafau. Mayfield looked like he wanted to really chuck it downfield, but he had to get it to the tight end, who was the only one that was open, and Leafau just trucked him. And astoundingly, I think 87, I forget the guy's name, may have held on to it. No, they say he didn't. So the Bucs are going to punt it. Promising drive snuffed out by penalties and mistakes, and turnover mistakes, that is. So Turpin is trying to return the punt, and he managed to get 20 good yards out of that. Brought down close to midfield. And if the Cowboys get a touchdown here, I'm probably going to call it quits for the night. So it's at the 35. Rush is under center. Fakes the handoff to Dowdle. Passes it a long, very long one to number 80, who's gotten his first catch of the night. And that's Flournoy who caught it. So they're already in Bucs territory at the 39. When we got a lot of movement and a lot of flags. False start. On 67 of the Cowboys, Hoffman the guilty party. Rush has had a really good game. It'll be interesting to see if he can duplicate this against the Eagles. They are not the Panthers. They are not anyone from the NFC South. This is a division rival that would love to run them into the ground. A handoff to Dowdle, who loses a yard. And Lamb is hurt again. They're working on his right shoulder. Some guy who looks like he could have moved out from Tombstone in the 1880s with his 7.5-gallon hat. And we're halfway through the quarter already. Rush is back to pass. Does the screen to Dowdle, who breaks a few tackles but is plastered before he can get any further. Oh, and the wide receiver who introduced his daughters was Shepard, not McMillan. I apologize for the mix-up. So it's 3rd and 6. Rush fakes the handoff to Dowdle. He's rolling out to pass, and he's in trouble. Manages to throw across his body to nobody in particular, unless you count the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and their Christmas get-ups. You'd think they were Buccaneers cheerleaders with the way they look. Apparently there was a question whether there was intentional grounding. Oh, Brandon Aubrey's going to try and kick it again. And, yep, 53-yarder is good. Scooter Magruder calls him automatic. It's a justified title. Well, at least I didn't see a TD. So the boys are up by 12. I'm looking at schedule for a variety of sports involving my Arizona teams, and I keep forgetting ASU's not in the Pac-12 anymore. They're playing BYU in basketball, and both teams are apparently doing well in non-conference play at 9-2, which could have been their college football records at one point as well. So my Sun Devils' last 5 games were all wins except for a loss to Florida. BYU also has, in their last 5, gone 4-1, losing at Providence. And as typical of power conferences, they like to feast on minnows before they get into conference play, and every one of these teams has a winning record. The worst is 6-5. One of them happens to be the U of A. Iowa State and Cincinnati are at 10-1. Other 9-2 teams besides my Devils and the Cougars of BYU are West Virginia, Colorado, Kansas, Texas Tech, and Central Florida. So Aubrey kicks it off, just like he's doing another walk in the park, and it's a touchback. That Sun Devil Cougar basketball game is going to be on New Year's Eve at 1 p.m. It's going to be in Provo, so that'll be the debut conference game for both teams. It'll be interesting to see how they do the scheduling, since it's no longer based on geography and having the same teams in the area close to you. Although they could be playing Utah next. We have an end around by Shepard of the Bucks, who gets 10 plus and now is pulling up with a hamstring injury. He can run all right, but it's a bit iffy. We already lost Godwin with a season-ending injury, so a lot of these young receivers are, when both Godwin and Evans went down, were forced to be turned to, and they can't afford to get more hurt. Mayfield's now back to pass, and he's going to really gun it down, but it was overthrown to everybody. Palmer was the intended receiver, number 10. He looked like he was open, but all right, Mayfield back to pass again. He gets it to number 81, Miller. I don't know if he's a wide receiver or a tight end. He's big, not totally skinny. Yeah, Otten apparently is out with an injury, and now so is Shepard. And Mayfield's now calling timeout. Doesn't like the way things are looking as far as the play call. And it's 5:10 left in the quarter. So this basketball game for my Devils will be a day before they take on the Longhorns. The Peach Bowl being on New Year's Day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So 3rd and 6, we're going to try it again. Mayfield is in the gun, and he's doing the already having to do an audible. Gets the snap, quickly gets it off to McMillan, who weaves his way through a bunch of tacklers and gets the first down. And we have under 5 minutes to go in the quarter. It was a wide receiver screen that didn't really develop too well, and McMillan did a yeoman's job to try and avoid Cowboy tacklers. So they got a first down. Ball's at the Cowboys 46. Handoff is to Bucky Irving, who got tackled in the backfield by Jordan Lewis, number 2 of the Cowboys. And the best Irving could do was get to the line of scrimmage. All right, second down. Mayfield back to pass. Gets it off to Evans, who is hit immediately, and the ball pops out. Wilson with the hit. Perfect timing on that hit. Wilson, number 6, was the one who laid the woodwork on Evans and made him a little dazed and confused. In situations like that, you want wide receivers to jump up and brace themselves for wherever hit comes up instead of running while as you're about to catch the ball. At any rate, it's 3rd and 10. Mayfield's back to pass again. There's another running back screen to Bucky. This is to White, and it develops a lot better this time with the lineman, and he gets a first down. Past the 30 to about the 28. Okay. Mayfield under center. Hands it off to Irving. Gets 1.5 yards. Joseph, number 93, had the tackle. Okay, 2nd and 9. Mayfield's in the gun. Now back to pass. The blitz is on, and Joseph again with a tackle. Who's got a huge brace in his right arm, but that didn't prevent him from getting involved. Okay, 3rd and 15. White does a run, but short of the first down by quite a significant amount. So they're going to come out with a field goal attempt. He's done as well as Aubrey this year in terms of field goal percentage. Though he hasn't been perfect like Aubrey, missed a few, but not like other kickers who have missed a half a dozen or more on the season. It'll be for 45. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good. With just 31 seconds left in the third. So it's 26-17 Dallas. I was looking at women's volleyball. It was quite a tumultuous season for a variety of reasons that had nothing to do with volleyball. Penn State won the title, beating Louisville. In Louisville, they held the national championship there. Dowdle gets the handoff on what will probably be the last play of the quarter unless they decide to do the hurry up. Okay, the fourth quarter is on. Flournoy has caught another pass. This is for a first down as well. And now a hand off to Dowdle, who doesn't get much out of it. Makes it second down. Okay. I apparently missed a play. Not that I really give a damn that much, to be honest. Now second and 19. Rushes back to pass. And he may have gotten it to Turpin, but it was a very low throw. Refs say he got it, but they also say somebody got flagged. So it was holding on the offense. Hands to the face in the defense. Offsetting penalties. I'll replay the down. Okay. So, pass to Ferguson is completed. Not for much. It'll be third down. And we have another case of someone holding their hands up after committing a penalty. Ay, Columba. All right. Okay. Well, apparently there was another play that resulted in not getting a first down, so Cowboys punted away. Oh! Nice tackle of Palmer by CJ Goodwin of the Cowboys, but we have laundry. have a couple of rough pieces of action. It's against the Bucs for doing a blindside block, which I think is stupid because defensive players can still hit offensive players hard. I would give the offensive players something. At any rate, the Bucs had already been brought down at the 4. It'll be half the distance to the goal, so they'll be back at the 2. Well, humans have been. They wound up winning it. Just by the way, so you could get. Oh, see, that's the difference of being a. I'm not gonna. It's because it's discrimination. Okay. Sorry I zoned out there. So Mayfield had a big gain for a first down. Now he just got sacked, lost the ball again, and they're slow to declare the play dead, the officials have. Now they're saying that Dallas has recovered the ball. And based on the replay, I think this is coming back. So the sack counts. I think they got. Okay. Cowboys have had 4 sacks on the night, and the latest one sets the Bucks back 4 yards. It's 2nd and 14. And he hands it off to Bucky Irving, and Cowboys were in blitz mode and managed to catch the Bucks from doing much of anything. And the coverage by the O-line wasn't that good to begin with. There was another off-center snap. So it's 3rd and 14. And now we got a timeout, it looks like, by Dallas. Yep. Sorry for all the distractions. It's not looking good for the Tampa Bay team, so their situation in this game is hanging by a thread, so to speak. Mayfield back to pass. Dallas is blitzing. Mayfield is able to get it off, but he can't get it to his tight end. The pass went out of bounds, and the Bucks are going to punt. 9:20 left in the quarter. It's still a 2-score game, even if it's not by double digits. The Bucks are being hard pressed to actually win this game. Seems as if Dallas, the team they envisioned to be this year, is finally showing up despite the myriad injuries. Turpin has caught the punt and is forced out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play. And it's times like these you wish they wouldn't do that. As we wait for what the call is. Illegal formation by the Bucks. They had done some weird spread out formation, and they didn't get it right, apparently. Mayfield's gone in the blue tent. That's never a good sign. And whoever is joining me, you're going to be joining me when a commercial timeout begins. But I encourage you to stick around. And in the meantime, we wait. And I try to look something up. What are you doing? Okay. Oh, don't do that. It's not an HTML page. It's supposed to be an image. Okay. All right. So 9:10 left in the game. Rush is in shotgun. Lamb is in motion. Now Rush is back to pass. And a lot of animated action by players. We got a defensive pass interference by number 35 of the Buccaneers, Dean, the guilty party. A lot of Bucs players on the sideline weren't happy with the call. And we have an incomplete pass. Okay, hand off to Dowdle, who gets a couple. Okay. Update on the action on the field as I was distracted by a pretty lady on the internet. Flournoy caught the pass, but it was well short of the first down, so the Cowboys are going to punt. I just wish there was a better picture of this woman. Or a more appropriate, bigger picture. No, I don't want to stop doing that. Okay, Anger gets the punt off. Let's see if Tampa Bay can do anything with this one. Palmer decides to do the fair catch thing around the 8. Halfway through the quarter. Okay, so much for that. Aside from not wanting the Cowboys to win, you want to have a relatively respectable division record for a division winner. And with Tampa Bay losing at the moment, this NFC South's not going to have another one again unless these teams somehow get their act together for the final 2 on the schedule. As we have a Katy Perry sighting for a perfume ad. It's hard to believe I've been at this for 3 hours. Okay. They confirmed Shepard's out with a hamstring injury. Mayfield's back to pass again. Can't find anyone, and now has to run and is going to wisely slide as he gets a first down. Got about 20 yards in the process, and now they're going to do the hurry up thing. Ball's at the 27. Mayfield's back to pass again. Has a nice throw, but it's too short for Evans. 7 minutes left. Mayfield back to pass again. Throws it to Palmer. And Cowboys thought it was incomplete. The refs are saying otherwise, but we got a flag again. Illegal formation again on the offense. And I'm getting hungry for a snack. So they're doing a graphic about what constitutes an illegal formation when it comes to the offensive line. It's 3rd and 10 for the Bucs. Mayfield's in the gun. Now back to pass as the Cowboys blitz. And he's going to wing it again and gets it to Palmer in Cowboys territory. And again, he tries to do the hurry up. It's at the 46 of the Cowboys. Mayfield's back to pass again, and he's going to gun it downfield again to McMillan. Oh no, it's picked off. I thought he had it, but apparently Lewis is credited with the interception in the end zone. This is going to require a review again. Yep, he got it. Lewis stuck his hand in between McMillan's arms. I don't know if this is because his body was out of the end zone initially, whether they'll say it was a touchback. So we'll find out if it's going to be a touchback or if it's going to be down at the 1. And whoever's shown up, why am I getting people showing up during commercial? Why can't they show up during the game? I need some cookies. I need something. Ugh. You know what? The heck with it. I'm just going to end this stream. It's not looking good for the Bucs. And if Dallas is looking happy, I don't want to see it. Bye-bye. Bye, Bonds. Thus endeth